Good morning, Clayton Bradley Academy faculty, families, and of course, students. I am AJ Camacho joining you from Bedroom Studios, and today is Monday, June 1st. Today marks a special show as it is our senior week kickoff and also our senior farewell show. With that being said, as an aspiring politician, I was always told I should not make promises, but in the spirit of quarantine, I promise you, the bottom half of what I have on does not match the top. As the last announcements of this year, we will be running things a little bit differently, so let's jump right in with the announcements. We have a tradition of honoring our seniors. It's called the Senior Walk, and the whole school comes out with signs and cheers for our seniors as they parade into the last family gathering of the school year. This year will be a bit different, and we need your help. You're invited to our final family gathering of the 2019-2020 school year. It will be a parade from 8:30 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. on Wednesday, June 3rd, at the Loop at CBA. Our seniors will be standing under the awning, and we're asking for you to come out to celebrate them. Bring signs, play music, or any other fun things you can think of to honor the class of 2020. As you enter and depart school, be prepared for stop-and-go traffic as passengers celebrate our seniors. This year's graduation ceremony will be at the Parkway Drive-In Theater on Thursday, June 4th. The gate will open at 7 p.m. for cars to park and await the ceremony. Be sure to set your car radio to 92.5 FM to listen in. The ceremony begins at 8 p.m. After graduation, we're hoping to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off at the theater. So, here with the review is morning announcements movie correspondent Max Fields.
It is a beautiful day in Chicago today. Temperatures expected to reach the upper 70s. Right now, 75 at the lakefront, 74 at Midway, 73 at O'Hare, and now, up in the sky, Don Nelson
Ferris.
with Skyview traffic.
Ferris?
I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. A lot of people who know me know that it's my favorite movie, probably of all time. It was directed by John Hughes. It has Matthew Broderick, Alan Ruck, a ton of amazing characters, and just a story that I love so dearly. I mean, if it wasn't for it being in the laundry, I'd be wearing my Save Ferris shirt right now. But a lot of you maybe don't know the movie. I mean, it came out in like the 1980s, and so a lot of you probably weren't born, until after then. So let me kind of catch you up to speed if you don't know the movie already. So, brief synopsis. It's actually not that difficult to explain. There's a guy named Ferris Bueller. He takes his friend Cameron and his girlfriend Sloane out of school. They just skip. He fakes being sick, and they just go around Chicago and enjoy it. The energy and atmosphere is just overall very triumphant, and the movie's just a great time. It's so fun to watch. I love it so much. As I had mentioned before, John Hughes wrote this movie as sort of a love letter to the city of Chicago. I mean, in the movie, they go to Sears Tower, Wrigley Field, just a lot of Chicago-specific landmarks and atmosphere. John Hughes actually wrote in an interview that being a love letter to Chicago, he not only wanted to get the atmosphere and the landscapes, but the spirit of the movie as well, or just of the place that the movie was set in. And I think he really accomplishes that. John Hughes is an incredible writer. I will never not believe that is the case. For Ferris Bueller's Day Off, for the amazing success it was, it took John Hughes less than a week to write. And with the first draft being roughly at about 2 hours and 45 minutes, which in writing terms usually of script, it's about a 1-to-1 page to minute ratio in a movie. So that roughly equates to Hughes writing 24 pages of one of the most classic movies of all time per day, which in and of itself is insane. I can't even imagine that. When he was writing this, he wanted to focus more on characters as opposed to plot. I mean, the plot's in the title itself. Ferris Bueller takes a day off. but you learn to love the character of Ferris and relate with Cameron or Sloane or Rooney or whoever else, Jeannie even. But I mean, you get to know these characters, and that is what the movie's about. And so I think that really is what drives the movie forward and how it makes it so relatable even now. All right, so I'll try not to spoil anything because I know some of you probably haven't seen this movie, but one of my favorite scenes in the entirety of anything is the parade scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, when John Hughes wanted to create the spirit of Chicago and just the energy that was in Ferris Bueller, I think this scene perfectly embodies that because it just feels alive. Like with Ferris there and everybody there, it feels like such a communal, like energetic experience and just atmosphere. And partially that's because a lot of the people that are in the background of that scene are not actors or they're not extras. They're real Chicago, like living people that just were there at the time and decided to enjoy the parade and enjoy the music and just dance along with it and the song that was playing. And I think that's, as a filmmaker myself and just as a person who loves this movie, that's just incredible. Like, I feel like that makes it so much more impactful to what this entire movie is trying to get across. Ferris Bueller's Day Off had an immense impact and just effect on, I think, the world since it has come out. I mean, I think the timing especially is incredibly fitting for what we're planning to do with the film now. Like, as far as I know now, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the movie that is scheduled to be played after graduation has been done, after my graduation is done at the drive-in. And John Hughes himself has said that Ferris Bueller's Day Off is written about a week before you're about to leave high school. And that is the time period that it's set in, and that's the sort of emotion that you're feeling. You know, you have all this energy and there's all this potential, and there's this time that you're about to go off into the world and you're about to leave sort of this life of high school behind. And especially for me, being a senior, that really resonates with me at this time in my life. Like, there's sort of a mixed anxiety of, like, I'm really excited to go wherever I'm supposed to be going, but I'm also really just, I'm going to miss where I've been and where I am. And so I think this movie in particular is one of the most amazing picks for watching after the graduation ceremony. And obviously it's my favorite movie, so I really enjoyed it as well. And impact on the world, like even past just me or past people who've seen it, actually in a 1990 commencement address given by Barbara Bush, who was the first lady when George Bush was the president. She actually used the famous quotable line from Ferris Bueller's Day Off in that address, and I just think that in and of itself is such an interesting impact and a place that you would never expect that sort of just I don't know that sort of quote to exist, but I love that it exists there. And if you're unaware, I'm going to end this lovely portion of this gigantic announcement video with that quote for hopefully to you all to consider. The quote goes, said by Ferris himself, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around once in a while, you can miss it." Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You're still here? My part's over. Go watch the rest of announcements. Go. You'll understand this when you watch the movie. Don't worry.
Thank you, Max. Now, in the continuing honoring of our seniors, we carry on the tradition of underclassmen delivering speeches for their departing seniors. These freshmen, sophomores, and juniors were asked by their respective senior to write and deliver a tribute speech to them. Without further ado, let's see what they have to say.
When I first met Chloe, I would have never imagined that I'd bump into another crazy cat lady besides myself. There's not many people willing to say that they own more than a couple of cats when you meet them for the first time. But I was glad to hear that I could obsess over cats with someone. Although, Chloe, I don't know how you put up with 30 of them. Chloe, you made every day a lot brighter. I love getting to talk to you, whether it be passing by you on the bridge during advisory before school starts, or during lunch when we and our friends are the most chaotic. Even when your alter ego, Evil Chloe, tries taking over the world on Halloween. One of my favorite memories of Chloe is when she showed me a sneak peek of her science fiction novella. Chloe, you better believe me, when you publish that novella, I'll be the first person in line at the book signing. Chloe, you are one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and you've made my 2 years at CBA really enjoyable. You never fail to make me laugh. I would never have thought that you would be leaving so soon. I'm gonna miss you so much. You better tell me all about the college life that you'll soon be experiencing, and promise me that you'll come back to visit. Congratulations on surviving high school and keeping the status of being the only girl in your grade. The guys were lucky to have you, Chloe. Chloe, thank you for being my friend, and I hope that we'll see each other soon, in person.
Chase is about to travel north to the place with the only authentic Dutch windmill operating in the United States, the great state of Michigan. He has always worked to help others and worked to show his creativity through writing throughout his time here. I've been friends with Chase for almost 2 years now, and there have been so many moments that have stuck in my mind about our friendship. From our hours chatting at Sweet Pea's barbecue to our time driving around in my car while you told me off for going to the speed limit. Chase, throughout our time together, I've watched you change and become more aware and thoughtful. The one thing that has remained the same are the short jokes and the stupid analogies, but most of all, the kindness in your heart. You always bother to check in on me and make sure everything's okay, and you always make sure to mention that you're always there for me. I'm really, really glad to be your friend, man.
To start off, I am honored that Max chose me to speak for him, so thank you, Max. Wow, Max, where do I even begin with Max? I think we all can agree that with Max leaving, there's going to be a hole in our community. He is co-founder of Chris Max Day, a honors tradition now at Clayton Bradley Academy. He has helped the community. He has participated in sports teams. He's been leads in CBA theater roles. It's really just not going to be the same without Max. Now, for me personally, Max has affected my life in such a positive way. I don't know if you know this, but he has like this thing that he likes to do. It's called like making movies. Yeah, I know, it's weird. And his ability to express emotions through those movies and really get us as a community to be able to talk about certain things just because we're watching those movies is really great. And his passion of movies really bled to me. I'm a super fan, I would say, of like Star Wars and Marvel movies, and I really started adopting a more passion towards cinema in general because of him. And when, stuff started hitting a little south for me and I got in a bad place, I turned to that passion that I've grown really from Max, and it was a big reason why I dug out of the hole. and why I'm here today. So thank you, Max. I can't wait to see where you're gonna go, what you're gonna do. I have a feeling I know what type of things you're gonna do, but we'll see how far you can go. And don't forget to lead role, okay? Put me in that role, okay? Thank you. Yeah.
I don't really know how to start this. I would say that Chris is one of my best friends, and it's only been a year since I really got to know him. I think my freshman year of high school would have been a lot worse if he was not my friend. Chris is the kind of person that you can have, dumb fun with him, but you can also have a really, really interesting conversation with him. And I think that that's what I look for in a friend. Someone who I can have a really interesting conversation with, but at the same time, still have fun. I mean, every time I've talked to Chris, I've learned something. Whether we're talking about school or sports or just anything. He was always open for me to talk to him. He would always tell me, hey, if you have a problem with anything, you can talk to me. He was always asking how I was doing. He was just always checking in with me, and it was nice to have somebody like that. He was always so encouraging too, especially in singers. I struggle with confidence in singers, and he's definitely helped me with that. He would always just encourage me every time we sang a song, every time we did this, he would always say, good job. And that's helped me a lot. Through the musical, through singers, like I said, he would always encourage me to be better. I mean, every time I had a problem, he would help me out with it. Every time I had something going on, we would talk about it. I mean, he's a really good friend. He made me realize that I wanted to pursue singers. A lot of people thought that I was just doing singers because all the senior boys are in there, which was partially true at the time. Then as time went on, he made me realize that I wanted to pursue singers and keep doing it, because I didn't know that I was going to do it next year when they left, but now I definitely know that I want to. Another thing I want to talk about is Guys and Dolls, which was the last musical that he was in. I learned so much from him during that. It's so hard to explain just how much he has been a great friend to me. He's taught me so much, and I'm gonna miss him a lot. I'm glad that he kind of took me under his wing this year. I could not ask for a better friend, and I did not believe that he would ever want to be friends with me. But I'm glad we are. One thing that I want to leave off on is we had one conversation, and he was talking about him going to college and talking about, his lifelong friends, who he's going to keep in touch with when he goes to college. I know that I am one of his lifelong friends, and I hope that he thinks the same about me. I didn't really know how to end this either, so I'm just gonna end it with a picture of Chris.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be fine. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again, if you only look around. You will be fine.
Andrew Cook. He's at a beard since middle school. I'd make a joke about how short he is, but I don't want to stoop down to that level. Some days, he looks like the human version of Sweatpants, like he's seen some things. He looks older than he actually is. I think he's the oldest senior, the senior of seniors, but he still acts younger than he actually is. He's an 8-year-old in an 18-year-old's body. He has a YouTube channel with over 3,000 subscribers. Shout out to Replayback17. But Andrew Cook is the busiest man alive. When I met him, he was a junior taking AP classes, playing tennis, and making movies on his free time, which is a sophisticated way of saying playing with Legos. He's kind and keeps finding new ways to express his creativity. I've known Andrew for 2 years and share so many funny memories with him, in theater, in engineering, at lunch. He's the reason I'm so feared on the ping pong courts as the infamous Jimmy Slam. Dude's got a sense of humor, but dude's also got a big heart. He's going to ETSU next year, and I wish him the best of luck. They say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I want to have a moment of silence for Kobe Compton. I want all of you to think of your fondest memory of Kobe. If you've ever met Kobe, this should be easy. I also wanted Kobe's speech to be the longest and least comfortable, so there you have it. Kobe's the man, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Ben has contributed a lot to the CBA family and has become an amazing friend through the 3 years he's attended CBA. I've been in countless projects, classes, and even musicals with Ben. And no matter what, we never fail to laugh, share stories, and just have fun. I think it's safe to say that CBA will miss its resident IT guy. Thanks, Ben, for always fixing our computer problems. But I also think I speak for everyone when I say that your passion, excitement, caring nature, persistence, and humor, all the characteristics that make you you, are what people will remember. As one of your friends, I've loved watching you grow and mature by finding your passions, like gymnastics. You've taken on the role of a teacher, guiding students to reach their best potential. You're a leader, and it's awesome to watch you take hold of that part of your life and run with it. Tennessee Tech is going to get an amazing guy for everyone to learn from, depend on, rock out with, and grow from. You're going to go to unexpected places because life always has curveballs. But despite that, you will make a difference in so many people's lives, and it will all be worth it. Congratulations, Ben.
When my best friend and classmate AJ Camacho asked me to write his graduation speech, I was extremely nervous and panicked. I thought that only Morgan Freeman can make a speech worthy of AJ's accomplishments throughout his time at CBA. But obviously, since you're not taken aback by his silky smooth voice, Mr. Freeman thought it'd be safer to stay home, so I guess I'll have to do. 6 years ago, AJ moved here from California. Something about the tumultuous and often unpredictable East Tennessee weather must have drawn him from the beautiful countryside and beaches of Berkeley. Since AJ came to Tennessee, he has had many achievements. AJ was in the school musical, led debate, participated in the student council, and played tennis for 3 years. Not to mention, AJ was also selected for many prestigious programs like the Nistley program and the Coolidge Foundation program, where AJ was a senator. While others see the successes, I witnessed the challenges he faced in getting there where he is today. At times, AJ felt defeated and wanted to give up, but even though he was discouraged and rejected, he still kept pushing for success. AJ always went the extra mile to exceed all expectations. For instance, for his capstone project, AJ created a resolution honoring Friendsville. As you can imagine, getting a bill through government is no easy task, but with perseverance, it became an official document earlier this year. So like the takeoff of the plane he flew on from California, his time at Clayton Bradley Academy is just the first step of his great journey. I know he will do great things and change the lives of the people he meets throughout it. This fall, AJ will be attending George Washington University in the Elliott Program in Washington, D.C. to study international affairs. I and many of the fellow students at CVA wholeheartedly wish him the best of luck in all his future endeavors. Thank you.
When I was just a baby, Zager once pointed at me and said, "Put that in the garage." You could say it was a rocky start. As a young girl, I would sneak into his room and take pieces off his Lego sets and build my own monstrosities. We'd bicker about who deserved the bricks, but it never ended too badly. I just admired what he did. I wanted to be like Zager. As time went on and we grew older, he faced trials and strife. Middle school was tough for Zager and presented many new challenges for him to overcome. But even then, I admired my brother for his conviction and strength in himself. This year has shown me even more about Zager. As I went through my own issues, Zager always offered comfort. If I was alone, he would search the house just to check in on me. He always offered to walk around the neighborhood so that I could have a chance to talk and sort things out. He was very compassionate. During my most difficult times, Zager was my rock. I am so grateful for everything he has done for me. It meant the world to me, and it still does to this day. Zager may be leaving the house, but luckily he's not running too far. Maryville College is blessed to have my brother attending, and I'm also blessed that he's just a visit down the road. Zager, for all the moments shared together and to many more, you will be amazing. Just like when I was younger, I still look up to you.
Thank you to all of the underclassmen for delivering those speeches. As a senior myself, I can say it is hard for all of us to be living such a great community. Even though we have a certain special bond among our fellow seniors, I know that with the community we have at CBA, we're going to miss all of you a lot. I want to leave you with some wisdom from an essay written for the class of 2020 by Bill and Melinda Gates, the co-chairs of the aptly named Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. There is no question that you have a role to play, whether that's now or in the future. You inherit a world that has already proven that progress is possible, a world that has rebuilt after war, vanquished smallpox, fed a growing population, and enabled more than 1 billion people to climb out of extreme poverty. That progress didn't happen by accident or fate. It was the result of people just like you who made a commitment that whatever else they did with their lives and careers, they would contribute to this shared mission of propelling us all forward. Class of 2020, these are not easy times, but we will get through them. And with your leadership, the world will be stronger than before. That's our show for today. This has been my final morning announcements show. It has been an honor to deliver them for the past 4 years. Next year, announcements will be headed up by Luke Hutchinson with Abby Becker and James Camacho on the team. Thank you. Teachers, please take your attendance now. And, as always, remember to ignite the power of learning.